Okay, wow, what an incredibly volatile week it has been in the markets, especially if you are a new money long. And we've been on a downtrend since October 29th. Over the past weeks, we have pulled back and found a support from back in November, and we have actually tested it now for the third time officially today. And what we got was a really big bounce, and this bounce is a little different from the rest of the bounces that we have seen on this major key level. It is a major key level because it is tested. And once again, price respects the key level. However, this time the candle is a lot larger, even more than NVDA's average daily range. And it does that with an increase in volume. NVIDIA is a leading stock from a leading sector. It is a hot stock from a hot sector. And when leading stocks break out with volume, that usually signals a multi-day breakout. However, though, this day is just one hint of strength within this overall sideways action that we have here. The move that I certainly would not want to miss is the breakout out of this range as we begin to look to take out the all-time high level ahead. And it's certainly a matter of when, not if. Now we have ALAB on the screen, and as you can see, the move looks quite similar to what we did see on AMD. However, on ALAB, we have earnings coming up much sooner, so that's something to keep an eye out for, because I certainly do not want to be a new money long getting caught in a gap down. However, if these semiconductor stocks all begin to power to the upside just before earnings for ALAB and NVIDIA and all the semiconductor stocks, it could be a signal of what's to come and whether the rotation back in semiconductors are right around the corner. Now we're looking at AMD, and as you can see, the earnings for AMD was just a few days ago, and it also tested a key level of support quite a couple of times. Don't you love to see when key levels of support continue to act as support, especially in key stocks from key sectors? Yes, it's quite magical. And as you can see, for earnings, AMD actually gapped down. This is a warning sign that buying prior to earnings can be quite dangerous, and that there will always be additional opportunities for new money longs at key levels. Now let's look at something even stronger than a support buy, because we have Intel and it's exhibiting a lot of strength. First, we've got our distance from all-time high. That's very close, and leading stocks love remaining near all-time highs. Let's take a look at the 10 and the 20-day. The green line is our 10, and the blue line is our 21. Intel is currently surfing both moving averages. NVIDIA and ALAB are finding support below their moving averages. However, Intel is finding support above its moving averages, and that should be an important thing too. That's not what I meant to do, but that's an important distinction to identify, because it does give you an idea of where to look for relative strength. And it appears that Intel intends to break out from this key level very shortly. And it's not something I have to anticipate. I simply have to wait for it to happen, because we have identified a key level in a leading stock from a leading sector. Leaders lead, and TSM is doing just that, because TSM, Taiwan Semiconductor, is trading at its all-time highs. The semiconductor strength is real because TSM has also been respecting its moving averages quite cleanly. So yet again, this is a sign of relative strength. So far, this is a lot of evidence that the semiconductor sector is about to blow. If you are finding this analysis valuable, go ahead and subscribe. I am only at 70 subscribers. Let's go ahead and grow the community. And for the last one on the list today, SITM, we have broken out. Earnings was on Wednesday, and we did have a lot of volatility, but it all came from this key support level. As we can see, support continues to act as support. We do get that breakout, and then we have a pause after the breakout candle. Now, we did break out with an increase in volume, so it is likely that the move can continue. However, that certainly does not mean that it won't pull back into the prior resistance and now act as support. The semiconductor sector has been pulling back for quite some time, and it seems like it's ready to go. As you might know, the hottest sector for some time has been data storage and memory names, especially with names like WDC, especially if I go ahead and pull up the weekly, you can see just how vertical a lot of the price action is. It has just been extremely strong. And if you haven't been in these names as a new money long, things may have been tough. Here is SNDK as well, and it's tightening up as well, and it's holding its 10-day. There are a lot of strong stocks in hot sectors. So if you would like to remain in tune, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button and maybe even throw in a like, and I will catch you in the next one.